Love is in the air. Right, Tillin? Love. Love. What is love? Love. Love. Adjective. To love. To give something from your heart to another.
It's
Adverb.
a verb.
Adverb to give
verb, you
the
fool.
pronunciation of one's thoughts and feelings onto another person via the trajectory of their mouth making noises. Love. Love.
Wow. What an intro.
Yes.
Doctor said you got PCOS. Now go on, girl, just lose some weight. Till I took the symptoms into my own hands and reversed them naturally.
Well, sisters, we love you.
Yes.
And whether or not you have a significant other in your life, this episode is going to be great.
Yep. We're going to share some tips on how to explain PCOS to your partner, whether if it's someone new you're dating or someone you've been with for a long time. And this episode can also relate to other people in your life too. It doesn't have to be just your partner. It could be towards a family member, towards a friend, somebody who you feel like you want to explain PCOS so that they understand what you're going through.
Yes. Sirak, let's do a little exercise. Name 3 things that you love right now.
That I love right now? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I love you. I love Kismet, our puppy. And I love our home that we have built or renovated over the last year.
Yes.
Okay. You name 3 things you love.
Okay. I love you.
You can't copy like that.
Well, I have to. That's the first one.
Okay.
And the dog.
Okay. Why don't you just copy my...
I love our sisters. I love my sister. And that's 4. Okay. And I love this house. I will
add, I love the community here.
Yes.
And on YouTube, on the Instagram, on TikTok, on the Sisterhood especially. We just love that community. It's like such a warm place.
Yeah. And we love the comments section. I said this in another episode. Please leave your comments because it's so much fun to be able to communicate with our sisters who are listening to our podcast. We don't usually get to do that because, you'd be listening on Apple Podcasts, but now you can watch us on YouTube.
Yep.
And we can see your comments. So, it's always fun.
Yes. So to get started, there was a very interesting study done.
Oh, yeah? Tell us more, spam risk.
What if spam?
Okay.
You guys have seen those memes, right? What the spam risk is actually like someone's contact name, and it's just a way to. Well, that's not the case right now. Time. Relax.
Oh,
Our marriage is not in a crisis. Calm down. All right. The study was done. Okay, no one even knows what I'm talking about because.
You're launching into a study. Launch into it. What's the study?
By the way, guys, I'm just joking. This is how we joke. Okay, everybody know we're just joking about our marriage. It's not in a crisis. Everything is totally fine.
Did this
It's
in
all
the
a
other
sham.
episode.
Okay, but that's.
We're brother and sister deep down.
What the hell are you saying?
People think that they ask.
I
in
know,
the
but don't
comments.
just say that without any context.
Okay, sorry.
Some people think that we're brother and sister on lives, or they think that we're a fake couple who got together just to create like a membership
so
or something.
crazy.
It's so funny what people sometimes
How
think.
can you sleep at night? That's a really difficult thing to lie about.
Okay. All right. A study was done on women's experiences living with PCOS and where they needed support. Many PCOS women in the study reported that they had not sought help from loved ones because they were embarrassed or because the quality of support offered was limited by poor understanding. Comment below on YouTube if you agree with this or if you felt and experienced this yourself.
Yeah, this is super relatable, especially if you are newly diagnosed and you're not sure what's going on. And, maybe you're dating or maybe like some things happening in your life, or maybe you're getting married and you just suddenly found out you had PCOS. It's like, how do you share it with your partner?
Yeah.
And we're going to get into tips on how to do that.
Yeah.
Because it can really lighten the load of helping you manage PCOS. And it also gives you the upper hand and helps you set the tone for how you want to handle PCOS in your relationship.
100%. So with that, let's just get right into it. We're going to give you 5 tips on how to share your PCOS, how to explain PCOS and share your PCOS journey with your partner. Number 1 being speaking with confidence and not being embarrassed.
Yes. Don't be embarrassed. Speak with confidence. And the only way to do this is to make sure that you yourself, are you okay? Are you done?
Sorry. I choked on water.
Okay. Are you okay? Seriously.
I'm good.
Your
I'm good.
eyes are like red.
I'm good. I'm so sorry. Please go ahead.
Okay, so the
Crisis.
only way to speak with confidence about PCOS with your partner and not be embarrassed about it is to make sure that you yourself are learning about it and really absorbing all of the information that we provide or about doing your research about PCOS, because that's going to help you feel like you have some agency over it, like you have some ability to reverse it. And you know what your next steps are. That's really important, because when somebody asks you about PCOS and they're like, what is that? It's like most likely they have someone in their life that also has PCOS too. And you standing up and saying and speaking about it will help that person understand not only you, but someone else as well. Because, PCOS is very common. The World Health Organization suggests that between 640 million and 1 billion women, that's 8 to 13%, are affected by PCOS globally. That's a lot.
Yeah. And going back to what Tyne said, like speaking PCOS with confidence, one thing that really helps, something that we've talked about in previous episodes, is having an elevator speech. As something that you've pre-thought yourself, so you can always go back to that when you want to explain it thoroughly. So Tyne, give us that elevator speech. Sisters, take out your notepads, or maybe take out like some sort of a recording device and record this bit and save it for the future.
Okay, I'd love to. I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. This is an endocrine disorder, which means that my hormones are out of balance and my metabolism works differently. It causes inflammation and affects most of my body's systems, including my blood sugar regulation, which makes it easy to gain and hard to lose weight. PCOS is a lifelong condition, but I make diet and lifestyle changes like, then you can insert what you want to talk about, eating gluten and dairy free or something like that, that will help me manage my symptoms and keep them at bay.
I love it.
I love it.
It's very clear, very concise. And that person who hears that just basically got all the information that they needed to know. And, I don't feel like majority of people would respond to that in a negative way.
Yeah. And if they do, that's their problem.
Yeah.
And like, if you aren't ready to even talk about it, you can say that too. Like, you don't have to. But I just feel like having agency over PCOS and not letting it control you or make you feel like down and then make you not want to talk about it. It's almost like an exercise in confidence when you have your elevator speech in your back pocket and you talk about that. So the next tip I would give is to be clear about your needs. So if you're on a date, obviously the first thing you talk about is not going to be PCOS. And the first date is not the time or the place to be clear about your needs. But after the first few dates, as you start dating someone and getting more comfortable and being vulnerable and getting to know each other, then maybe it comes up and you could say something more about PCOS if they're interested in getting involved in your journey and being more a part of it. So I feel like a few months into dating, let's say your partner is like interested in buying something cute for you, gifts, cookies, maybe when you're sick to make you feel better. And maybe you're trying to be gluten and dairy free. Like, this is an opportunity for you to be clear about your needs and tell them, you know what? Thank you so much. This was so nice of you. Thank you so much for taking care of me and making me cookies to make me feel better after the flu. But I'm trying to be gluten and dairy free right now, and I'm trying to manage my PCOS. So I'd love if you could help me with that instead. And maybe some flowers instead of cookies will work just fine. And don't feel embarrassed that you have to say that or that you want to say that. Don't feel like you're going to break that person's heart. It's just all about the delivery and the context in which you're saying it. You're appreciative, you're grateful, but you're still being clear about your needs.
Yes, exactly. And by the way, this episode is also great for your partner to listen to. So it's not just like for you to like listen and apply these things, but I would highly also recommend having your partner listen to this to also get the entire perspective. And lastly, just recently, I did this action about Talin being clear about her needs, and I fulfilled the prophecy, y'all.
Wow.
She wanted a treadmill. You guys have been hearing about this since New Year's or Christmas. She wanted a treadmill so she can do the 12-3-30 method at home. Because usually she does that at the gym after a workout. But of course, she wants to come home, right? And like do it here. Obviously, I totally get it. So I researched everywhere above and beyond, found the perfect treadmill that's like good quality, everything. If anyone's interested, it's the Horizon 7.0 AT. No affiliation, no, it's not advertisement.
Affiliation.
They should, honestly.
Whatever.
I actually contacted them to be like,
Did
if they would send us a free treadmill. I was like, hey, we have a big Instagram account. I don't know. I see influencers everywhere getting like free stuff. I was like, you know, it's $1,000. It would be good. So no, I didn't get any contact back, but I heard a lot of positive stuff about the treadmill. So for anyone who's interested, you can look at them. But yeah, it's coming this Friday. They're gonna install it, so you're gonna be having your treadmill.
Yay!
So you were clear about your needs. You told me, Sirak, I want a treadmill for home.
Thank you. Where are we putting it?
Garage, right?
Garage.
Yeah.
That's good.
Cool. All right. Next one, the third tip is knowing your worth. So this is really all about practicing that extreme self-care and not letting like your partner judge you for it or letting your partner mock you for that, because like you know what's important for you and nothing should get in the way of that.
Yeah. Having PCOS requires a lot of self-care. Not everyone is in need of that. I mean, I think everyone needs self-care, but not everyone, their body
Requires the
doesn't
same
like
level.
require that same level of self-care. Like a nightly wind down routine can make or break how you're going to feel the next day when you have PCOS. And if you're in the thick of reversing PCOS and learning like all the things, and for someone else, maybe it doesn't make that much of a difference, but don't be embarrassed if you're like, I need to sleep at 10 o'clock. These are the things I do before bed. I'm very vigilant about not looking at my phone, so I won't be texting you back after 8 p.m. Like you could, you know, these things are not something to be embarrassed about. Like know your worth. You are doing this for your body, and whoever you're with should be on board with supporting you in these aspects. And although they don't have to do any of them, they should at least be supportive as you do it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you feel like I got on board with when we were dating and like, you know, I was obviously learning about your PCOS. What did I get on board with?
I feel like you immediately were on board because when we went on our first date, I talked about how I was gluten and dairy free. I didn't like deep dive into PCOS. I just said I was gluten and dairy free. And Sirak was like, oh, I already eat like gluten-free bread. So like that helped us jive.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I used to, or I would listen to a lot of health podcasts. So I already knew about the impact of gluten on like just society as a general. So when you said gluten-free, I actually like perked my interest in you more even. Because I was like, oh, this girl knows the real science. She's looking through all the, you know, the stuff that's going on here.
We also jived with working out, doing slow-weighted workouts.
Yes. When we first started working out together. Yeah.
I was looking for a way to like see better results, and you were doing the slow-weighted workout method.
Yeah. I basically like modified my like form of personal training to accommodate your needs, which was like to me, like from what you were doing before, like running around, like doing kickboxing and different types of like intense workouts. I really thought what you just needed to do was focus on improving the lean muscle mass to help you be better at that insulin resistance. Because I could see that you were just all about the calories in, calories out at that moment because you just didn't know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And like if you've been doing workouts, if you've been working out for a long time, especially if you're a personal trainer and you've seen others, you know that it's not like a quick fix or nor is it about calories in, calories out. It's really about that long-term consistent workouts that changes your body's composition like over a year or so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember being in the like the free weight section of the gym for the first time with you, and there were like men everywhere. I was like,
oh yeah,
this is intimidating.
Yeah, I think that was Pasadena, right?
Everyone's looking at me. Yeah, it was like 24-hour fitness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So
next one.
Next tip is to always express gratitude, because when you're with a partner and they're like trying to help you, they're not always going to get it right because there's so many different like factors about PCOS. Maybe they'll get you something gluten-free, but it's not dairy-free. You know, like there's just sometimes you just can't get it right. But expressing gratitude will always encourage them to keep trying to help and to have like a positive mindset around PCOS as you both navigate it together. And it will bring you two closer, in my opinion, if you open your heart and you have like a grateful attitude towards the person who's trying to help you.
Yeah, totally.
So even if they do something wrong, just thank you so much. I'm actually eating low sugar right now, and these cookies are delicious and I'll save it for later.
Yeah, even if your husband forgets how to cut onions every single time you ask him to cut onions, just express gratitude that he's cutting an onion for you, right? Right?
Right.
Every time, guys, she asks me, can you cut an onion?
Funny?
And I just forget how to cut an onion.
Tries to show me how to use certain electronic things. And I don't know if I'm fully paying attention or what.
That's
sometimes
the problem. You
I
don't pay
just,
attention. That's really
I'm
the
not
problem.
picking up what he's putting down because I just can't. Okay. Don't know the what's that fan thing that you got?
The air purifier.
Air purifier.
Oh my gosh. She doesn't know how to go from auto
figure
to...
it out. Actually, I figured it out the other day without your help.
Oh, wow.
Even though you showed me.
Without my help, I literally showed you when I got it.
So every time he makes fun of me, I'm like, you still can't cut an onion.
You know, I still don't know how to cut an onion.
been
I know how to cut the
together
onion.
for
I don't know the
7
first
years.
step. What's the first step?
You tell me. It's behind you. Get the onion and show us the first step. Open the cabinet.
Okay.
The red onion.
Red onion, right? Okay, I know the second step where you're supposed to go psh, 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 psh. So right now we have an onion
You're
like this.
looking at the onion.
We're looking at it here. Okay? So I believe what you're supposed to do is cut it like this,
Yes.
right? You cut the whole thing from
Yes.
here, and then we lay it down like
Yes.
this, and then go psh, psh, psh.
Yes.
Also, I know now.
Good for you, honey.
Do you know the tech stuff?
Yes.
What's
But
a
you still
USB-C
ask
cable?
me.
What's a USB-C cable and what's it used for?
And you still ask me, even though, just like I get to the air purifier and I still ask you, even though I could figure it out. It's called codependence.
You know what?
Maybe we
I
should
think
work on this.
This marriage is in a crisis. I said on Dubai Bling.
Okay.
All right, y'all.
There goes the onion.
Okay.
All right, next.
Last one. The last tip is not being thrown off by any assumptions that person has about PCOS. Now, of course, a lot of people do have PCOS. It's 1 out of 10 in some countries, 1 out of 5 in others. But still, unfortunately, not a lot of people know about PCOS.
Yeah, not a lot of people know about it, but so many people have it. All you got to do is send them the link to this podcast episode or any episode that you want them to learn about. Go through them, check the titles, see which one relates, and forward it. I feel like we're, just something that's easily digestible, relatable, that people can understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's great books, but they're too deep in the science. Sometimes there's great podcasts, but they just kind of drone on and on about the details.
TikTok is good too. A short video is also good to get them to first understand the basics.
Totally. Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, 100%. So with that being said, if your partner still doesn't show their support, maybe they don't have a full understanding of how you're being impacted. So sharing your feelings about your partner's lack of support, maybe discussing boundaries regarding insensitive comments. That's a big one too.
That's a big one.
It's always good to create those boundaries there.
Especially because it's hard to lose weight. And if your partner comments on your weight because they don't understand the metabolic disruption that's happening with PCOS, it can be so unfair because you could be working out harder than them and eating less than them. And you're both on this health journey, but only he's losing weight. It's you got to understand the fundamentals of metabolism and PCOS and how they're related and why certain things work for some people and not for us.
Yeah.
And then that will help them support you and stop making those comments because they'll be more educated about what PCOS is.
Yes, I love that. And lastly, just remember that there is a ton of free resources that you can share with your partner or friend. Go ahead and you can feel free to share our blog, our YouTube account, our TikTok, our Instagram, any of those social media platforms. We have a lot of free content that you can share. And I would say your biggest action from today, I would highly recommend either bookmark something that you like and show it to your partner later, or just copy that link and send them a text message right now. Just imagine if you do that right now, what kind of an impact it's going to make on the rest of your relationship. Honestly, not just saying that so you can share the link. I'm being serious. Just right now, if you share this link or share any link for that matter, it's going to have a huge impact on your relationship. So kickstart that
PCOS
conversation.
Conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
So before we wrap this up, I just want to make sure we read one of our amazing
that's
wins
right.
from our sisters in the Sisterhood.
We usually do it in the beginning. I can't believe we just went into the episode.
It's the grand finale.
Yes.
This message is from Rebecca. She says, A win. My husband has been very supportive as I embark on this journey of becoming gluten and dairy free and has been trying new foods with me. One of our favorite foods is pizza, and he found a gluten-free crust. We bought gluten and dairy-free ingredients for us to make a homemade pizza, and we even found a gluten and dairy-free ranch. It was delicious. We both really enjoyed it. We added plant-based pesto sauce, dairy-free cheese, artichoke, pepperoni, black olives, and bell peppers. The dairy-free cheese was so melty. I was shocked. We've already made it a few times when we went to have pizza.
That's amazing. Amazing. Shout out to Rebecca and her husband. You two sound very sweet, and I love how he is supporting you in this like journey and having this fun dinners like pizza, you know?
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Together.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, everyone. Well, that is today's episode. Again, highly encourage you to share a piece of content that you like with your partner or your friend right now and get that ball rolling. And stay tuned for our next episode coming up in 2 weeks.
Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Bye.